Hi there, and welcome to a beautiful sunny day here in Dublin. I hear these things are quite rare here. I've only been here a couple of times, but it always surprises me how much many of the streets resemble smaller cities in the northeast US, which I suppose explains Aer Lingus' large presence there, in part at least. If this was one of my hotel video style intros, the opening line would probably be something like, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, then it's probably a raccoon. You see, Aer Lingus is just a bit of an anomaly of an airline. Not low cost, not full service, not hybrid as they lean into being. They're just kind of existing there in Dublin as a British Airways funded counterpoint to Ryanair. But I digress. Before we head inside Terminal 2, let me welcome any of you that may be new to the channel. My name is Kevin and I am the Flip-Flop Traveler. I'm a full-time creator with an eye to the skies and the beaches, and I enjoy my flip-flops nearly as much as I enjoy being honest and unclickbaity in my self-funded videos. If you'd like to know more about the channel or me, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Have a look around the channel. There are hundreds of airline and hotel reviews to enjoy. This 50 Shades of Green flight starts now. Terminal 2 is actually a pretty nice place to be. It's modern, well-signed, and has some especially friendly staff roaming around who were helpful enough to ensure I was following their odd baggage policy correctly. We all know that low-cost carriers limit carry-on baggage and then charge for checked-in baggage and everything else you could possibly imagine. In many cases, we're used to full-service carriers kinda doing more or less the same now too. But Aer Lingus is the only airline I know of that has turned that on its head. Included in their base fares is a small personal item, like a purse or laptop bag, plus 10 kilos of checked-in baggage. Yes, you can check in 10 kilos of bags for free, but you can't carry on a bag unless you pay for it. This just feels like trying to disrupt the system for the sake of disrupting the system. If there was some sort of significant savings, perhaps I could see the value, but there is not. Quick comparison of fares on Aer Lingus, Ryanair, and British Airways on this same route on a random day, February 19th. Ryanair has the cheapest base fare, and Aer Lingus has the most expensive. You may be thinking that, yeah, but I get 10 kilos of checked-in baggage. Correct. But BA's lowest fare includes cabin baggage, and their policy allows you to have 46 kilos, or 100 pounds, yes, you're hearing me correct, of cabin baggage. I mean, for me, that would normally be just game over right there. I'll choose BA any day of the week. Now, if there was some amazing 12-minute service on board, maybe we could look at this a little bit differently. But there is no service on board this route for Aer Lingus. British Airways, under their parent IAG, bought Aer Lingus in 2015 and have, relatively speaking, kept them at arm's length. It still surprises me to this day that Aer Lingus isn't in oneworld. I honestly don't understand why. The Aer Lingus story began in 1936 as a small regional carrier, launching their first flights to the US in the late 50s. Thanks to their geography, they've benefited from the ability to use narrow-body aircraft on many of their US routes, despite not having the likes of 757s for quite a while. These days, Aer Lingus, which means Air Fleet in Irish, has a massive presence in the US considering their size, serving up to 18 destinations during the summer months. For comparison, Air France also serves 18 US cities. Dublin and Shannon have US pre-clearance facilities as well, so they get their own tacky red and white departure board. Someone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're the only European airline to serve 6 airports just on the Boston-DC corridor, including Boston, Hartford, Newark, JFK, Philly, and DC. Lounge options here are not aplenty. Contract lounges, that is. And I headed to the T2 lounge, which I accessed with Priority Pass. The space is very limited, but there was actually a decent selection of prepackaged food on offer as well as plenty of drinks. I'll admit, I used to hate their old livery, thinking that the three shades of green just clashed, but ever since they started to phase it out, it has surprisingly begun to grow on me. I suppose the grass and the aircraft are always greener on the other side. If you're enjoying the video and want to see more, please go ahead and click that like button, and more importantly, subscribe. If you're looking for lots more information about my travel in general, weekly posts, advanced itineraries, travel advice and the like, or just want to show your support for the channel, I'd invite you to check out my Patreon or YouTube channel memberships. Here's our 13-year-old A320 now. Boarding began less than 10 minutes prior to departure time, which led to a nearly 30-minute delay. This was due to a late inbound arrival. The impressive thing, though, was the turnaround time. From the moment the aircraft arrived at the gate until the moment we were all on board and doors shut was 36 minutes. That would make even Ryanair blush. Staff on board greeted me as I stepped on, but it was a very low-cost vibe on board. I don't mean the crew were unfriendly, but they were just very hands-off. I did take down notes about the purser while I was on board, though, pointing out how heavily they were leaning into their 80s vibe. Off-center low bun, dramatic coif, long side bangs, Emirates red lipstick. She was definitely committed to her craft. And to be clear, I'm a product of the 80s. This is not a jab. I had an exit row seat, and for what it was fairly comfortable. The only thing about these seats that I didn't like was that they removed the seat back pocket in the exit row seats. So there's literally nowhere to put anything if you're in the exit rows, since you need to put your bags above as well. As we push back, I'll give you a little preview of the entertainment on board for this evening's flight. This is just part one. And here we have part 2 of the entertainment, blue and green disco fever. There was also no in-flight service and no buy on board, and surprise, surprise, no Wi-Fi. We had a bit of a sunset approach into Heathrow from the northwest. So, it's not that I don't like Aer Lingus. I got here, that's the name of the game. But it's just hard to imagine I'd choose them again unless they were the only carrier flying the route in question. That said, I would love to fly them into Hartford Bradley someday. That's a really nice little underrated airport. So I really do hope that you enjoyed this quick trip report today. If you did, please be sure to click that like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on my twice weekly videos. I'll see you next time from St. Pancras Station in London. Oh, and as always, thanks for watching until the end.